Okay, we're back, and now we're chatting about the challenge, and I've got lots of things to say, so let's get into it. Spies, lies, and allies for all you fools. So stupid.
I was laughing through that whole opening. You say spies, lies, and allies for these fools? Is that
fools. Yeah, let me tell you something.
I like it.
This episode was ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm pulling up my notes because like I have so many comments. Okay, my first note was Huey and Emmy, rookie troubles, super worried. That became a non-issue.
Unimportant.
Like, totally unimportant. This episode took a turn I did not expect.
Yeah.
Okay, first off, before we get into like the real meat and potatoes, can we talk about the shenanigans? Who okayed this date night between Casey and Nani? Like, what the hell was that? Like, where did she get the rose petals from? Why are there chocolate covered strawberries? There's champagne and an ice bucket. Like, why are there so many nice things? I just thought the whole thing was ridiculous.
It's so funny when shows do stuff like that because it's like she planned this really nice date. Production planned a really nice date. She didn't go to the store.
It's so stupid.
She didn't go to the store. She didn't buy the strawberries. She didn't buy flowers.
No.
Like.
And everybody's watching like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. Like, is it? Is it? All this tells me is that Casey is getting a guaranteed good edit for the remainder of the season. Okay, because they are making her look amazing. Okay, so like, I call bullshit.
Yeah,
so there's that.
I loved Nani being like, you did all of this
for me. I can't even believe it. No, I could believe that maybe production would do something very, very nice if Nani wanted to make a move on somebody who was brand new because like she's been around for so long. What is this? So like 13th season? Like, of course, if Nani wants chocolate covered strawberry, you make sure it happens, okay? Or somebody's getting fired. But Casey, she's brand new. She's brand new. She ain't nobody. She ain't nobody yet. Not in the challenge world, okay? Yeah. She fucking fell down last season. Like, get out of here. No. Yeah.
I did think we got a little like interesting piece of information out of the date, though.
Oh yeah, what did we get?
Well,
what did we get? I was so wrapped up in how ridiculous it was, I didn't get anything out of it.
Just because of all of the drama that's been surrounding the Big Brother people that are on the challenge this year, it came up. Nani saying kind of Casey's stuck in the middle between this Fessy and Josh stuff. And I feel like we've always kind of wondered, like, it seems like Casey always has Fessy's back first, right? Like over Josh in these situations. But we kind of heard Casey say, it feels like Josh, not that he's not looking out for us, but he kind of goes for his own personal game first. Like we kind of heard Casey acknowledge that. And that came out on this little date.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. And you know what? And thank you for bringing that up because I thought that was ridiculous.
I did too.
Okay, and I thought it was ridiculous, like for a number of reasons. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because like there's a lot of switching, and I do have a hard time with this many people keeping track of who's with who. But at this point, like when Fessy was throwing Amber B in last week, Amber B was already teammates with Josh. Yes,
correct, correct.
Why is everybody okay? You know I am not the biggest fan of Josh. Like I've never been. I did not enjoy him on Big Brother. I have not enjoyed him on the challenge. However, why is everybody acting like he doesn't get to be mad about this? You just threw his fucking partner in. Like I'm sure he was stoked to get this partner, okay, because she just won last season. She is Big Brother. She might be a little bit older school than what you guys know, than like you guys being like, like Casey and Fessy or whatever. But she's definitely part of the Big Brother alliance. Like why? so agree with everything that Josh has said regarding this subject. Like, I could not possibly agree more. There's supposed to be a vet alliance. Why would you?
And that's
why
the thing
would you
too,
go
like,
against this?
I think it was John that said it last time. Like, why were all of the vets so okay with Fessy?
Right.
In this move?
Why are the vets okay? They're always like, oh, well, you know, he felt like he did what he had to do that was best
like,
for his
the
game.
whole thing has been get the rookies out first and then figure it out later. Why is everyone so cool with him throwing a vet under the bus?
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's because, like, some people are just very stupid. Like, Anissa, so I was listening to the Challenge podcast. I did not listen to the most recent episode because I only watched this episode of the Challenge today. I only finished it today. But she was saying something how she wishes that more people on the Challenge viewed the Challenge the way that people on Survivor and Big Brother do. In the fact that, like, this is a game, I burned you. Because, like, you know, we were saying this the last time, the first impressions thing. Like, the Challenge has always been so centered around, like, honor, right? Like, just doing the right thing by the person, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just the right thing to do. I didn't outperform or underperform in this challenge, so I shouldn't be thrown in and I shouldn't be this. That's not how Big Brother and Survivor play the game. So Anissa was saying, like, oh, I wish that we played the game more like that. And I feel like that's kind of why these vets were making these comments, because, like, the vets want the game played that way, okay? Because the vets are getting old. All right, they need the game to be played more socially because they can't keep up physically. It's calling a spade a spade. Okay. So this is why an Anissa would be okay with something like this. I feel like that probably is echoed amongst the rest of the vets. And in keeping with that, I think that, like, a lot of this is nonsense, because you should not be going against the vet alliance this early when there's still plenty of rookies to go after. And more important than that, you as a Big Brother player should be better than this. You should know that there's a long game being played here, and you need to be focusing on your smaller alliance before you start going off and, like, firing shots. Like, you don't want to be, why would you fire shots at the smaller alliance right now when, like, you shouldn't even be firing shots at the larger one? The whole move made absolutely no sense. And then on top of that, you're firing shots at Josh's partner, who I'm sure he's sitting back thinking, oh my gosh, awesome. I have last year's champion. She's Big Brother. We're in. And then, like, who is supposed to be one of my closest allies is, like, throwing my partner in, and everybody's like, well, how dare you, Josh? She's doing the best thing for his game.
Like, especially, like, you heard her in, they're not DRs in this, but I don't know what else to call them. But that's in fine. Her, like, little, like, DR, I guess, she was sitting there being like, I'm cool with Casey, I'm cool with Josh, I'm cool with Fessy, like, I am Team Big Brother, these are my people. Like, she was in no way going after him.
No.
Yeah. And we heard Fessy say, like, at one point, he was like, if Amber got power, she'd be coming for me. And it's like, what has given you that indication? Like, you just have made this up in your head that she's just, like, out for blood on you.
It's just because he's so insecure, but how he treated her last season. But that's what it all comes back to.
You know, and see, that's the information that I don't fully know myself, too. That, like, I don't really fully know what happened. I kind of got, like, a glimpse of it in this episode, but, like,
there's just, it's funny because there were just so many layers to this one move, and I find it funny that it's all these Big Brother people, because we talk about Big Brother so much. But like there was one, they had, like, I think it was on the previously on, where, like, there was this moment where, you know, we saw the flashback of Josh freaking out on Fessy when Fessy was putting Amber B down, and Fessy has his arms outstretched, and he's all like, how many people are you going to protect in this game, Josh? And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, like, this, first of all, it's his partner. Like, this is your number one ally in the game. It's his partner, and he asked you not to put her up. Like, now you have the other side of it where it's a vet and you're taking a shot at the vet, where the whole game so far is vets protecting the vets. So, like, what are you talking about?
It's not ludicrous.
It's not just
ludicrous.
It's not just Josh protecting Amber B. It's supposed to be all of the vets. Like, and then
like making it out as like this is Josh being Josh and flying off the handle. I was like, no.
But it just
no, and that's what production wants to do. And, like, you know, and I stand that. I usually like, you know, Josh looking like a clown because I don't like him. But this was completely justified. Like, totally justified.
Yeah.
And it made me, like, it was funny to me because you saw Amanda, of all people, kind of being like this voice to Fessy being like, you should apologize to Josh. Like, and Fessy being like, well, I don't understand why I have to apologize. I don't understand this and that. And like, it was, that was just so bizarre to me.
Might I add, Amanda being the voice of reason in any scenario,
right,
is like honestly it's the most egregious thing ever. Okay, like ridiculous, ridiculous. She's one of the most offensive people that I've ever seen on this show. She annoys me at every single turn, and she's going to be talking sense into Fessy. If that does not underscore just the very mess that Fessy is,
right? It made me it made me really laugh. Yeah, it made me really laugh when I heard Amanda say to Fessy, maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're the problem. And, honestly, and Fessy, he just did not get it. He just continued to not get it, Fessy, after that.
Here's the thing, though. Fessy's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He should fire a shot at her. He should feel funny because he wasn't right. But like, it just wasn't for now. It just wasn't for now. I don't think it's ridiculous that he might think that Amber would be after him. It's just when you're in a situation where there's like, how many people were in this season? It was like 34 at the beginning. I know it's not 34 anymore, but it was like 30 plus.
Right.
You don't need to worry about her just yet. You worry about her later.
Right.
She is a problem. She's a problem. Because she'll get you out. Because she has no reason to trust you. Once it gets down to the nitty gritty, if you want to talk about the Big Brother alliance, as far as what her pecking order would be, you're definitely at the bottom for sure. Yeah. And like to answer Gina's question, what it was last season, just to break it down like super quick, is that everybody was like lined up to be in the final, and Fessy was partners with Amber B, and did not want to be. Okay, like kept saying like, I don't want to run this final with Amber. I don't want to do this with Amber. She can't do it. She can't do it. Yes. Yeah, she can't do it. She can't do it. I only want to run this final with Casey. And the entire season, it was really set up that everyone in the house knew that Fessy and Casey wanted to run the final together. So Fessy put himself in an elimination, like really in harm's way, risking his whole winnings just so that he could switch partners and be with Casey. Won the elimination, did so, yes. Left Amber, and then, Casey flarned out, got injured, couldn't finish, and then Amber won. So there's that. And honestly, it was really one of the most single satisfying things I've ever seen on reality TV in life. Like, no, not her falling, but Fessy flarning. The fact that like because the way that he carried on was so embarrassing to watch, like for Amber. Like if I was Amber, I would be mortified that somebody didn't want to be my partner so bad. like, which is why he thinks, she's got it out for him. It all makes sense. It's just, again, this was not a shot that needed to be fired when there's 20-something other people to fire shots at. Like this just wasn't it. Yeah.
Especially with Amber B coming into the house late. Like you didn't even have a proper conversation with her yet. Right. Like
and she's not really set up with anybody else.
Right. And she's
essentially kind of rookie-ish.
Right.
As far as the way our culture goes.
I feel like it makes her a target, the fact that she is still really new to the game and has already won. Like a lot of these vets that haven't won are gonna want to get her out. I feel like,
yes, I think that in the vet alliance, she was already a huge target. I don't think it's something that Fessy needed to do at all. Yeah, you could have stayed true to your Big Brother alliance and let the other vets fire shots at her. You didn't need to do it at all. Like it was just stupid on so many different layers. And like, I don't know. I agree with Josh on all of this. Like I thought that was a very messy move. Very, very messy.
Maybe the first time I've been in like full agreement with Josh on anything.
Right. Because like, I really can't stand him, but I think that he's playing this season correctly. And honestly, he is the very reason why I'm excited this season.
Yeah.
Except okay, wait. I totally stan Esther. Okay.
This is.
I've been waiting to get into this.
This interesting.
I stand Esther. I have been very public on the socials about how I feel about Esther. I feel like she is my Nigerian queen. Love her. I love how she gives it to Fessy. Fessy's like, I want to do this. She's like, no. And like, I like that too. She doesn't just go blindly with whatever he's saying.
Yeah.
I don't know about this new showmance with Josh, though. I don't know about all that. I don't know if I like that.
Esther makes all of this more interesting on multiple fronts.
So many fronts.
Yeah, the fact that she's partners with Fessy, the fact that she's hooking up with Josh, the fact that she seems to really hate Amber B. She really does not seem to like her at all.
It's a perfect storm.
Yeah, like it's.
Can we discuss also though the editing of that episode? Because I was trying to watch this on my lunch break, and I was laughing so hard I couldn't even finish it. I just kept.
Was this at the club night?
Yes, at the club when Berna and Esther are sitting there talking like, "Oh my gosh, Amber is so annoying," and it cuts to Amber with Ashley. She's like, "Woo!" and then Berna's like, "Oh my gosh, she's just so fake," and Amber's like, "Woo!" Like just the way that it was edited was just so funny. It was really, really awesome. Okay.
I just don't get all the hate for Amber B. I feel like everybody hates her. Like
they were really slamming her this episode.
They're slamming her because they're jealous. They're slamming her because she was the sex symbol of her season on Big Brother, which right, wrong, or indifferent, it was because Caleb was sweating her real hard. Did you watch that season, Jeans? No,
not yet.
Yeah, she doesn't even know who
I know about that scenario,
right? And honestly. Very non-impactful on Big Brother.
Yeah.
So who really cares? It really doesn't matter. Honestly, she's more interesting on the challenge.
I don't. Hold on. I just have one more question. I don't want to make this whole episode all about Amber B, but I am curious because of all this talk we're having with Amber B and all the Big Brother people, and now with Esther and Berna hating on her. I am curious because she did win the game last season with a legend, CT, and I feel like we haven't seen any interaction between Amber and CT this year. Does CT feel at all at all of a partner? Not a partnership, maybe, but does CT and Amber do they have anything going on? They just won the game together last year, right?
I'd love to say. My initial thoughts on something like that, I would imagine no. Mainly because I just don't imagine CT playing the game that way. I feel like CT has always played very just black and white. Yeah. You are my partner for the moment. He didn't. It's not like he had any real team building with him. We didn't see any moments like CT had with Big T.
Yeah.
There wasn't any of that. He got partnered with her so late. It was just yo, let's just get through this thing. Oh, we won. Good on us.
I suppose, that's right. That's true. I don't know. For some reason, when she came in, I just assumed that there would have been more of a bond between two people that took home the prize together. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't know.
No, that's interesting you say that because until you said that, I forgot that they even ran the final together.
Right.
I didn't even remember who the male winner was. That was so not an event to me. I guess because CT winning is just not an event. I expect it, and that's the end of the day. Close the laptop, go to bed. Amber B winning was okay, that's interesting.
Right.
That's interesting. I have these notes here, and it's funny because I write these notes and I don't even remember what I was talking about. But I wrote Casey not knowing what to do because who's going to take the first shot, and I wrote the first shot was already taken first of all by your dumbass alliance member. Why aren't more people in it with Fessy over this? So I don't know what she was even talking about, but apparently she wanted to fire a shot at somebody, and I wasn't into it.
No, I think she was talking about if the Big Brother alliance crumbles, where does she fall? I think I remember something like that.
And that's something we don't really get to explore because the episode did not end with any kind of resolution. So we don't really know anything.
I know.
I don't like the way this one ended. This is not, I don't like these cliffhangers. I like shit wrapped up. I know who went home and I know what's going on.
I would have at least liked to have seen the deliberation of the house talking over who they're sending in because because maybe we know, right, that the rookie team is very likely. I mean, Emmy and Huey are going down, right? I mean, we know that.
I think
yeah.
that's it. Yeah, it's it.
Unless something crazy happens, Emmy and Huey are going to be the team that's voted in most likely. But I do think you get some interesting interactions in those moments when the whole cast is in there. So I'd be interested to see that. But
yeah, I was very disappointed when I realized on the DVR that it said 11 minutes left, and I was like, how are we getting to a deliberation and elimination? I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, all of a sudden the credits were rolling, and I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, I was really upset. Although that does say something about the editing, that like it was just so engaging. We didn't even realize it had been 90 minutes. So there's something about that. The Satan Sisters, I don't like that name at all. Not here for it. Hate it. It made me not like Ashley anymore. You know, I stand her last week. I don't know. I still stand her, but I'm concerned. I don't like that. What did you think about Emmy singing?
It was good to see her up there letting loose. You know, she's an emotional player. She's had ups and downs. I'm sure she felt very good and confident in that moment. It was good for her, I think.
It just felt like one of those things, like production being like, look, I also sing now. You know, like I was like, why are we doing this?
Yes, I'm not really about this. I don't want people coming on these reality shows just to like push their socials and push their music and their podcasts. Like if you have one and I find it, if I don't want this to just be like an extended commercial. Like I want your attendance on your appearance on this show to be like something like you did. And like, so I don't know. I thought that was kind of weak.
And honestly, it wasn't even the musical performance moment either. It was like, it started before that with the whole, Emmy, you could be going to the lair. So how about this great dress? Wear this tonight. Like it started with all of that. Like it had that whole thing.
Well, it's really funny you said that because my other note that I wrote here, and I really want to hold it up because I literally said,
I don't know, I'm gonna see it.
So cringy. I say, what is this? An extended commercial? She must be going home since she's getting all this extra time. But like, no, we don't really get to know if that's happening. But I definitely feel like the way that this episode was edited, I'm expecting to see Emmy and Esther in the lair. That's what I'm expecting. I feel like I got a lot of Esther time that I haven't gotten before. Emmy singing, wearing this red dress from Ashley Millionaire Mitchell. I think we're definitely seeing them in the lair.
Yeah.
But what men do we think we're seeing? I mean, well, I definitely think we're seeing Huey.
Yeah,
sure.
And
yeah. I mean, Emmy and Huey are likely going to be voted down together.
Yeah. They're the rookie team. They're definitely going in. I gotta tell you,
what's throwing me is the fact that Casey is one of the people sending the men down. Because like I would say one of the Big Brother dudes, but like I don't know if she would send them. You know what I mean?
I don't know. See, here's the thing. I don't know if Fessy's going to be around. We saw TJ come into that house, and I'm pretty sure Fessy put his hands on Josh.
Oh.
He did put his hands on Josh.
I forgot about that.
That's what we saw at the end of that. And when TJ comes in the house, it's usually not good.
Yeah.
However,
he said, when I come to this house, you know things aren't good. He said it in the next on portion.
Yeah.
That is what he says. However, I'm calling malarkey. I think it's a TJ warning. I think we're getting hyped up over nothing.
I think it's a warning. Huh?
I think it's a warning. I think we've seen this from TJ before, the shenanigans.
It's true.
I think he's just going to come in here and be like, listen, you know you're not supposed to do that. And if you do it again, we know you're good friends and all you did was hit his face. So who cares? Because the underlying message here is that the only good TV that's coming is coming from this messy alliance, and we got to keep you guys in. We can't send Fessy home. Fessy is what's making this show at the moment. Whether we like him or not, he's at the center of all the interesting things that are going on because the vets aren't fighting otherwise. So
we've seen it like both ways, though. I feel like too with TJ, right, where he's come in and kind of given a warning, and other times he's been like, "You put your hands on someone, you're gone."
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We've seen it go both ways. There's an argument to be made on both sides.
I lean towards what you're thinking, though. That it'll probably be a warning. That's my guess.
Because that wasn't for the fights that we've seen on the challenge that get people thrown out. This wasn't that. They didn't show us the whole thing, so we really don't know.
That's true too. But from what we saw, it didn't look like a punch. It looked like it was maybe some shoving.
It was a mush. It was a mush in the face. It was a mush in the face.
A mush.
Yeah. It was a mush. It was a mush.
All of these little things really do make a difference, though. So
it does make a difference. But I'll tell you, if I was really, really heated and you mushed me, I wouldn't punch you. I wouldn't punch you. I'd be really fucking mad, and like I'd come at you and everything. But if you mushed me, no. Now if you punch me, that's a little different. You just in the face. I don't know.
Right.
It's not really going to escalate from there. So I don't know. I don't think we're seeing Fessy go anywhere. He's the only thing that's interesting right now.
Do we think? Because I know we just mentioned that it's going to most likely be Emmy and Huey, and then we talked about Esther, right? Do you think that like Casey would allow Esther to go down if Fessy didn't want her down? If Casey's the one that's selecting that other girl,
I think that if Casey didn't want it, she wouldn't do it. I don't see Casey as somebody who really just does what somebody else says.
Yeah.
That's not how she plays any of these games. She didn't play Big Brother that way. She hasn't played the challenge up to this point. And I certainly don't think she's going to listen to Fessy. Well, it wouldn't be Fessy throwing her in. Sorry. It'd be Josh. But no, it wouldn't be Josh. Who would throw? Right. Why would she do that, actually? Now that I think, wait. Who would want Esther in?
It would be Amber, which she's not going to give.
And she wouldn't do. Yeah, right. No. Right. It's like, Fessy wouldn't do. Wait, that's his partner. Josh. No, it wouldn't be Josh either. No,
because I know we were talking based on the edit. It almost looked like Emmy and Esther were set up as like one of these people is going home. But Casey is the one that's in power. So I don't see her sending Fessy's partner in.
Does he not want to be partnered with her anymore?
I don't know.
Like, where do we stand on that?
Now, see, I think that's far more possible than anything else, because Fessy, for lack of a better word, is so messy that, like, I don't know. I could see him saying, you know what, maybe I need to cut Esther loose because, like, she's getting close with Josh.
Right.
I could see him thinking that, and that's honestly not a bad train of thought. Like, I can't really get on him for that. Like, that would kind of give me pause. Can I really, really trust that Esther's going to have my best interests in mind?
In fact, I almost could see, and I don't know, maybe not, because it's so early in the game, and partners switch so much. But I wonder if Fessy and Casey would be like, yeah, throw Esther in so that me and you can be partners. Like, you know what I mean?
The only reason I don't think they would do that is that that's just so not how they played the game last season. Like, they were so dead set on not being partners together until the end that I actually think that that's a really, really good way to play the game, because even though Casey was injured and that's the reason why she didn't finish, she's a fantastic competitor. And she's a huge target. So, like, putting her with Fessy, his politics aside, he does perform very, very well in these challenges, with the exception of anything eating. And we'll see that coming up.
Yes. I was just going to say that. I was like, Casey might not want to be Fessy's partner this time because of that eating challenge.
Right. Although I do. Okay, this is where I side with Fessy on that whole thing. So what happened last season? So Casey fell. Yes, she hurt her knee and everything, but like, she wasn't out yet. Deep down, we knew she was. Yeah. Okay, but they were letting her continue on, but she was not continuing on at the pace that she was. She was limping a lot. You already knew that even if they finished, they had no shot of winning. They truly did not. The challenge, especially their finals, very, very famous for these eating challenges, like making them eat like cow ears and like balls and like stuff like that. Yeah, and like they're always like
bugs
bugs, or throwing up violently. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, really, really gross. So, and Fessy has a big problem with these eating challenges. Like, he is a very, very strong like physical competitor, but it really, really struggles with these eating things. So they allowed Casey to get to the point where they got to this eating table, and like Fessy was just like, I'm not going to eat this, and we can't even go. Are we medically cleared to go? Can we even do this? Like, what are we doing? I'm not going to eat this food. There's no reason we eat this food. Like, they really like dragged it, but I did agree, because like I'm not going to be eating this cow ear or whatever the nonsense was they had them eating. Like, I'm not going to eat these things if I'm already disqualified. Like, what is the point? Like, what is the point of this? Like,
the only thing with me about that is that shows to me, and it's what bothers me even more about what Casey was saying about Josh in this episode about not being a team player, because Casey continued to eat. It was her that was injured, and she continued to keep going with it and trying to push through. And Fessy was just like, "No, you're hurt, so I'm not going to eat, even though you're trying, even though you're still trying." And I actually think that if Josh had been Casey's partner and they were in the final together, even if Casey was hurt, Josh would have been like, "Okay, you might be hurt, we might not be able to continue, but I'm going to keep eating because you are, and we're a team, and we're going to keep going." I think Josh would have been a bigger team player than Fessy was. And that's why it annoys me that Casey in this very episode was all like, I just think Josh, like, not that he's not looking out for us, but he really does look for his own game first. Like she was kind of hinting at that when your own partner, Fessy, who you always like defend, was the one that gave up on you, even when you wouldn't. So I understand what you're saying about like Fessy feeling like, well, my partner's hurt, we're probably not going to be able to continue, so I'm not going to bother eating this. But like, if Casey's sitting there shoving all this stuff in her mouth anyway, even though she's got a bum leg, you should be doing it too. You should be putting some effort in. He just completely gave up on her. And I don't think Josh would have done the same thing. I really don't.
I have so many thoughts.
I just feel like until they tell you you're out, you should be giving 100%. That's what I feel like. Fessy might have had in his mind, my partner's hurt, we might not be able to finish, so I'm not going to eat this. But unless somebody on that production crew says you are out of this competition, you should be trying until the very end. That's my opinion.
I respect it. I do not agree with it, and I 110% would not do that. For me, if I knew I was finishing in last, whether you let me finish this thing or not, I am not eating these ridiculous things for something I'm not going to win. If I'm already out of it, I'm not going to waste my time. Okay, that's nasty. I'm not going to risk throwing up and all this other stuff for something I'm not even really in anymore anyway. I do agree that Josh would have done it. But I think it's unnecessary. What's the point? What does that prove?
Well, here's my question. What I don't remember. Do you remember, Kyle, what the prize money was last year? Because remember, there was a point, right, where it was if you finish first, second, or third, no matter what place you come in, like there was a certain prize money that was attached to it, but you had to finish the final, right? So let's say they knew they were coming in third, but Casey was willing to literally crawl to the finish line. You know what I mean? And maybe they were only getting 10 grand each or whatever the prize money. I don't remember if third place got anything last year. I don't know if you do. But
I don't remember.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yeah, we can't win this thing.
If that was the case, then I do agree with you. Then we should have finished.
Right.
Then we should have finished. For some reason, I remember it in a way where they were in a position to win no money. Okay. And that might not be correct, but I thought that's what it was, and that's what my opinion is based on. So if I'm not going to win anything anyway, listen, you're my friend outside of here. I don't need to prove anything to you. Like, I understand why you're eating it, because you feel bad that you've bungled my chance at this money because of your injury, and you now feel guilty, and that's, it's not really your fault that this happened to you, but you feel guilty, and that's why you're going to put in the extra effort. But that's not on me. Like, I don't need to eat this cow ear simply because you got injured. Like, I don't have anything to prove. Like, I got here on my own merit. Like, I don't know. Like,
I just feel like that makes you look like such a weak competitor. And I think any other vet in that house, any other player in that house, really, not just the vets, I feel like if they watched that season and, like, saw him kind of like give up on his partner, I feel like any bump and bruise I get in a final, if you're my partner, you're just going to give up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the attitude that I would have watching Fessy, the way he performed in that final last year.
I hear what you're saying, but like, this wasn't a bump or bruise. Like, homegirl was on the rocks, okay, exclaiming, "Help!" I need help. Y'all, I can't do it. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. They went to a commercial break. It was so dramatic. Like,
I just thought he showed he's not a team player. Like, at least be supportive.
I guess people would think I was not a team player. I definitely would have done the same. That is the only time I've ever agreed with that man. I sat there and I said, well, I know I wouldn't do it either. I know I wouldn't.
Casey's over here eating bugs and cow balls. Like, have a couple of bites of something, man. Like, just pretend.
But again, like, wouldn't you, if you were that friend that, like, you were talking about this even in the off season, like all the preseason chatter about how we want to run this final together. We want to run this final together. I can't wait to do this. I can't wait to do this. And then, like, especially what the things I would imagine, and maybe I'm way overthinking, but I'm sure that Fessy has really confided some like real, like personal stuff to Casey, right? Like saying like, oh my gosh, like I didn't win Big Brother. Like I'm really trying to win something. This is my thing. I'm a physical competitor. I'm all this stuff. And then we're finally partners and we're going to finally get it together. And she's like, yeah, I won Big Brother, but you know what? I'm gonna help you win this. And here we are, we're in this together. And then all of a sudden she's on the ground, she failed. And she's like, oh, I messed up my friend's chance. You know, he went down for elimination just to be my partner, and now I fucking flaunt him. I gotta eat these bugs, I gotta eat this cow ear and these balls because like I fucked up his chance. And all the meanwhile, I would just be like, fuck this.
No, I
already lost. Like, I don't know.
I understand where you're coming from. I do. I just really don't like Fessy.
I don't like Fessy either, but
I think he sucks. I think
he does suck. He does suck. But I mean, honestly, right now he's my Frenchie. So, Team Fessy. But I mean, all right. What other notes do I have? Hold on, because we really went off on a tangent here. That was it. Because there was nothing else happened. So that really was it.
The fight happened, but
yeah,
right. Well, that's all the same thing. And
I think we should acknowledge that in the craziness of all of this, and how much of this episode and the last episode, right, were dominated by this Big Brother alliance of Fessy and Casey and Josh and Amber B. I guess sort of kind of on the outside, not really a part of it. But like in all of the craziness, the top 3 teams in this challenge on the episode were Casey, Josh, and Fessy. Like they're dominating the social game and all the behind the scenes stuff, but they're also the top performers in the game. Like it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'll say I think that's cool. I really do like that. Like these Big Brother people are actually kind of like showing their worth. In like the challenge world. I think that's very, very cool. And it also validates us because Big Brother is our bread and butter.
Yeah.
So it's like our people are coming in and like we're shaking shit up. We're the talk of the town. Even those of us who are from different countries, we're still the talk of the town. Because who are we talking about? We're talking about Esther, Nigeria, still Big Brother. Who else are we talking about? Last week we were talking about Huey, Ireland, Big Brother.
Yeah.
Okay. We were with everything.
And a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Tasha, who's also Big Brother Nigeria.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Come on, Big Brother.
But
that's all I have to say because like it didn't end anywhere.
I know. I just this fight was weird. This whole pizza fiasco. Tori and Corey brewing up trouble.
I forgot it started over pizza.
Yeah. You know,
there's so many fights that start in the challenge house over pizza. Like this late night pizza thing is absolutely a thing. Like I know they said it in the episode, but like it's true. Like that is like so true to the challenge culture.
I
forgot that's what started this all.
Because here's something that was interesting that came out in the pizza fight, and because Amber B comes in and she's talking about the blind side of her, from Fessy. And we've talked about how we thought it was odd that like none of the vets are annoyed that a vet took a shot at a vet before all the rookie teams are out, right? And Fessy said in this, and who knows if it's true, but nobody denied it. Fessy said in the middle of the fight, everybody knew you were going in, which would lead me to believe that all the vets knew that Amber B was going in, which again makes me ask, why are not more of the vets angry that a vet went after a vet before all the rookie teams are out? Like, I don't get it.
For that, man, just to have an answer, to try and have a response, it's because she won.
Right. Because we saw a big team. We saw
that wants a winning rookie.
Yeah. Because we even saw Big T. She was like, "Oh, here's Amber again, talking about how she was blindsided," and it's like, yeah, but I feel like
well, she was.
Yeah,
she gets to be annoyed.
If all the vets had this understanding that, like, as long as a vet was in power, I'm safe, and they were the vet that was gone after, they would be pissed. I don't understand why Big T is not, like, why any of the vets. I don't get it. I don't
Here
care.
goes Amber again. Like, everybody's so annoyed by Amber. I don't get it. I don't get it. I think she's getting a bad rap, and it's not fair.
Yeah, no, they were big time hating on her like the whole episode. Even they were like, she keeps saying like, you don't have to tell me you're a good person if you're actually a good person. It's like everything word that came out of her mouth, there was somebody complaining about it.
Yes. And it's like, I don't even know why there's so many questions to what her loyalty is. I don't remember anything specifically in season 36 where like she was backstabbing or anything. I don't remember any waves she made or
are people just assuming that she's going to be out for retaliation and that's all this is? Like,
I guess I really feel like so much of this is misplaced. Like I don't.
Right.
Unless it's just intimidation for the fact that this is a rookie. And again, because the way that the challenge has been set up, we don't see rookies win. You know, and I think she was maybe underestimated the entire season. With like, who cares if she floats through? And then she ended up winning. So maybe that's part of what it is.
Yeah. I do really think that a lot of the vets, and we haven't seen them say it, but like I do think that a lot of them are pissed that like somebody came on in their first season and just won. When you have vets that have been on here for over 10 years and haven't won. Like
Nani, season 13.
Yeah.
And now
she's been around that long.
Oh yeah, Nani's been around for a long time. That's why she's trying to act like mother hen, which is like so annoying. Like that whole conversation. Who was she talking to? Was it Gabo? When she was like,
"Yeah,
you're not believing in yourself, and that's not okay. That's not okay." And I was like, "What the hell is this?" I was like so annoyed by that. But like we had so many first impressions to get through. I didn't bother.
I'm sure now that Anissa is gone too. Like Nani especially feels like, oh, I'm the mother hen here.
It's me because it's certainly not Tori.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, I like her less and less every fucking
week. She's weird this year.
She sucks. I thought she sucked a little bit last year, but she went out so early that I was like, I'm not sure how I feel. But now it's like, yeah. I'm enjoying her on the podcast. I like her on the Challenge podcast. She's really annoying me on this. Like she's coming off as like that girl who like, I've been around for a really, really long time, so I want to onboard you really nicely. Like, she's like, I want to be mother hen, even though I haven't earned it. It's Anissa. Anissa's mother hen, and if she leaves, which she did, there's just no hen.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. There's plenty of chickens and roosters. There's no hen. Is that a thing? They're all chickens. But you know what I mean? Like, there's all workers, but there's no boss. I'm done with the metaphors. It's 11:18.
Yeah.
But you get what I mean?
Yes.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens.
So it was Casey and Emmanuel that won, right?
Yeah.
So Emmanuel, what did he win? Survivor, was it Romania?
Did he win it? I don't even know.
I said one. That I have no reason to believe that. I think it was actually final 3 or final 2 from what we read last week.
Yeah.
Interesting. It means he does understand politics and things. But it's not interesting because it's obviously going to be
I'll be right back.
Huey and Emmy. He'll be right back. What?
The nerve.
Right, we're taking him off then. Like, what? So obviously it's going to be Huey and Emmy. And the thing about this is that, like, all right, so Huey is actually really, really cool. Like I've had a couple of interactions with him on the socials, like with his little voice notes and everything. He's so sweet, like very responsive.
Okay,
but like
we love to see it.
We do love to see it, but I say all that to say that, like, based on some of the things that he's been saying, like even on his story and everything, I have reason to believe that, like, I don't think he's going out anytime soon. Because he just keeps talking about what we have to look forward to and things like that. And he wouldn't know anything about it if he wasn't there. So if it's Emmy and Huey, I do not expect Huey to go. And if he does, then he's just full of shit.
He's another one that he's like a bit of a loose cannon. I never know what he's going to do, what he's going to say, or even like it really looked like in the last time that he was in an elimination that he was like down for the count.
Yes, but that fire that's in him.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just, he's such a like. What's he gonna do? I don't know.
Right, and that's what has made him one of my favorite competitors. Like this season, like I think that we're just gonna call them DRs, okay? Because we're really a Big Brother podcast. They're DRs as far as we're concerned. Is there a problem with that? Click X. No, please don't. Please stay. But like, no, but in his DRs, like he's always like going on about like, oh my gosh, my whole train of thought was gone. I was talking about Huey. I don't know what he's saying.
Loose cannon. What's he gonna do?
Loose cannon.
His fire.
What is he gonna do? His fire. Right. So like I was impressed with him because like in the last week when he was like very, very nervous to jump off the cliff, he's like, I can't do it. He did it. Then he was up in the air on that other challenge. He's like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can do it. Take me down. And then we come back from commercial break. He's like, no, I'm good. Let's go. Like, I think that that's really, really cool because like, I think John can attest to the fact that we have seen people actually like quit challenges and like, no, we're not going to do, I'm sorry. I can't do this. This is too much for me. I'm not. Huey seems to always get to that point and then rally back. And I like that a lot about him. I like that. So
we've seen plenty of people that like refuse to do a challenge. And we've seen TJ always tell them like, I do not like quitters.
I don't like quitters. That's disgusting. I'm so disappointed in you. Yeah. He's even said to some people like as they're leaving, like, I hope not to see you back.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I don't believe in quitters. Like, he's like a savage.
And I think that TJ, you know, I think that Huey is someone that TJ will like a lot because Huey has shown that he has these fears, whether it's of heights or whatever. And he's had the courage to overcome them or to at least try to overcome them.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, he stays in it. He says, no, I'm not going to do it. But he does it anyway. So like, even though TJ was very vocal about the fact that he did not enjoy his behavior on that one episode, I think by the end of things, like he's going to end up respecting Huey like big time.
Yeah. I agree.
So that's all I've got because it didn't end with the resolution.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've talked about a lot of things that happened because I feel like a lot of things did happen, little social interactions. But I mean, there was so much that we didn't get that we normally get in an episode. We didn't get any deliberations. We didn't get, you know, any of the talk between the house, you know, the people that are in the house after deliberations about who they thought would go in or anything like that. And we didn't see an elimination. But we know that we're going to see all of those things in the next episode, and we're going to see TJ come into the house to deal with all of the fireworks after the most recent club night.
Yeah, so, right.
So it's going to be a good episode, I think, for sure, this coming Wednesday.
I almost wish we weren't waiting so long to talk about it. We'll review. I just don't think there's any other time, really. But no, this has been really good.
Yeah, it's weird right now because we have so much Big Brother stuff going on still too. I think that once that's over, we'll have more room to play with.
Yeah. There's a lot of things to talk about, and there's also like this is like weird too because like we're still catching up to the challenge. We did our first impressions last week, and like now we're getting into the game talk. There's a lot of catch up talk that we had to get to get to here. Yeah. So now I feel like we're hitting our stride. I'm still fine for Monday at 10:30 for next week, but like we should discuss it. For the people who did watch, listen, thanks for tuning in. Okay, send us your questions and comments. We'd love to involve you next week. But tell a friend, like and subscribe. all that jazz. Thanks for watching. This has been Jury Duty. It's a Big Brother podcast, and we talk about it all. Join us for Survivor. We'll be here on Wednesday at 11:15. We're talking about Survivor, we're talking about Big Brother 23. We have so much to talk about. Come back at 11:15 on Wednesday, and we'll see you then.